Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Thursday morning check-in. This morning it is Thursday, July the 23rd. Welcome. This morning we're checking in. Declan is not with me again this morning. My apologies. Declan and Candace are actually heading down to visit Candace's sister, who just gave birth to Declan's new little cousin. So there's some celebrating happening down there for sure, and meeting and greeting the new little people in the world. So new little person in the world. Sorry, people, because as I'm thinking about this and planning for sort of this morning and wondering what I might say, I was struck by the fact that life has changed so much over the last few months. Nothing seems to be normal anymore, and yet things in life still continue on. Um, we have new little people in the world. We've said goodbye to people out of the world, and life, even though it's different, has a way of sort of continuing on. And sometimes in the midst of all of our plans and all of our schemes and all that sort of stuff, but life continues even in the midst of change. And I was struck by that today and this week, that this idea that life changes but carries on. Um, because lately I've been hearing a lot of people lament, and I use that word very intentionally. Lament, I think, is a faithful word that we don't often use, and lamentation, sort of that process of lamenting and sort of yearning and expressing our grief and our sorrow. We sort of, I've heard a lot of people complaining or lamenting about the way that things sort of used to be and the changes that have sort of happened in our world, and why can't we just go back to the way things were, and all of those sorts of things. So we lament, and I think as people of faith, I think lamenting is good and healthy. It's a way to sort of express our deep sorrow, our apprehension, our stress, our anxiety, and all of those things. So by all means, I'm not saying we shouldn't lamentation. There's a whole book of Lamentations in the Bible. Check it out. It's right between the books of Jeremiah and Ezekiel, sort of these two major prophetic books, and right between the two is a book of Lamentations. So check that out. Squeezed in there a little bit, there's a book of Baruch as well, but that's a sort of a deuterocanonical thing. So that's me going off on a little bit of Bible church geekness. But lamentation, I think is an important thing. We lament, especially this summer. I hear a lot of people lamenting plans for the summer, gatherings with others, family reunions, birthdays, weddings, vacations, all these sorts of things that we mourn, that we have lost, that we sort of grieve in the midst of all of this change and struggle. So lamentation is healthy. Embrace that. If that's where you are this week, today, this morning, whatever that looks like, lament, pour that grief and that sorrow out. Um, the trick with lamentation, though, is that while it's important, it can be tempting to get stuck in that cycle. It can be tempting to mourn and continuously mourn all of these things that we have lost, so much so that we sort of can lose track of the joy and the opportunities and the happiness that can still be found in the midst of these changes, in the midst of this summer that is so different, all of these sorts of things. And for me, I know it can be tempting to lose sight of the fact that life itself does carry on. Again, that we have new little people in the world, that weddings are still happening, although differently. That birthdays are still happening, although differently. That anniversaries are still being celebrated. We have a whole group, a whole series of celebrations, birthdays, anniversaries, all sorts of things happening within our own community, and we have people celebrating those things and celebrating them differently. Granted, but but still taking time to celebrate, to mark those occasions, and to make the most of what we are able to in the midst of all of these things. So how do you find the joy? How do we embrace those moments that are indeed still worth celebrating? I know I have celebrations in my world, in people in my world, and births all over the place, and celebrations and stuff like that. So there are things that we can hold on to, that we can truly celebrate deeply. I was also struck this week with a prayer from Nadia Bolz-Weber. If you don't know who Nadia Bolz-Weber is, check her out. She has some fantastic writings out there. But her prayer is, and I'm going to share this with you, if comparison is the thief of joy, then Lord, help me not to compare my life today to my life 6 months ago. Help me to find the joy in this life and in this day, and to know that it is indeed from you, and it is enough. Amen. And that's my prayer. My prayer for you, my prayer for your families, my prayer for our community as a whole. And my prayer is that you will embrace the joy, that you would sort of lament as needed, but not to get stuck in the comparisons, and that thief of joy that is comparison. So stay safe. Stay safe today. Stay safe in your living and in your life. Do what you need to do to find joy in the midst of that, and to find joy here and now in today. If you do have lamentations, prayers, anything you'd like to share with me, with Tracy, with anyone here at the church, by all means get in touch. Send us an email, give us a call. We are always here to share in the journey and all of what life's journeys entail. So take care. God bless. Know that you are loved and that you are cared for, even as we care for one another by keeping and maintaining some distance and some safety for all. Take care and God bless.